Carla, the Crazy Cross Stitch Lady. Welcome to my craft room. I am so happy that you have decided to join me today in here. And I thought it's high time that I get another floss tube out. I haven't done one in a little while. I would have probably done one before now, but seems like the summer was hectic and it's been hectic now. And so we've started school. I'm a school teacher for those of you who are new to my channel. And so I had to deal with a lot of starting school stuff, and then our Wi-Fi was working, and then the internet went out in the house. And so even if I had recorded a video, I would not have been able to upload it. So we have a temporary fix, and I think we're working on that problem now. So hopefully in the next week or two, we'll have that permanently fixed. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to thank all my new subscribers. I'm so happy that you have joined us. I'm always happy when more people are on board and, you know, we can share this craft together, and it's just very exciting to me. And I'm very happy that you're here, and I'm very happy to my subscribers, those of you who've been watching my channel for a little while. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that you are able to find some joy when watching my videos. What I would like to do, and that's a big like to do, we'll see how it goes. I would really like to start, if I can, uploading videos every couple of weeks instead of about once a month, which is what I've been doing. And that's simply time. It takes time and effort to put up these videos. And if you are a floss tuber yourself, or you make YouTube videos, then you understand exactly what I'm talking about. It does take a little time and effort to do this, but I would really, excuse me, I would really like to be able to do some more tutorials just on even just little small things, not anything major, but just little small tutorials along the way. And speaking of tutorials, if you're new to the channel, and if you're also new to cross stitching, or maybe you cross stitched a long time ago and you're just now getting back into it, I'm going to link my first tutorial here. And what I did was I started the tutorials, and it starts with telling you all the supplies that you need. And I take a piece, it was a free pattern online. So I take that pattern and I walk you through the entire process, and we stitch the whole pattern together. So there are, well, I've got more than 10 tutorials, but I think the whole series from start to finish on how to follow a cross stitch pattern is about maybe 10 videos. I haven't gone back to count them, but I think there's about 10. But they're all up online, and I've put them in my playlist. So you can go back and watch the tutorials, and you can just binge if you want to. Some people like to watch tutorials, not that they necessarily need the stuff, but they just like to stitch, have something to stitch to. So you're welcome to use it for that too. If you're a seasoned stitcher, just, hey, put it on. And a lot of people like to, you know, put that on the TV and watch YouTube there. I usually will take my phone and I'll fling it to my TV, and I'll watch a lot of the videos there. It's just a much more pleasant experience. You know, just wanted to let you know and put it out there. And I figure if I put it on the video, then it's going to hold me a little more accountable to try to get that done. So we'll see how that goes. I do have a new phone, and it's got a better camera on it, so we'll see how that goes. And my little short quick story on that is that I was out traveling last summer, and I had my phone, and I was trying to take a picture of something, and I was juggling too many things in my hands. So that was mistake number one. And mistake number two, I'm trying to take a picture with all this stuff in my hands, and the phone falls, and I was standing on a concrete sidewalk, and I heard smack, and I looked down, and it's face down, and I said, oh no, oh no, oh no, please be okay, please be okay, please be okay. And I pick it up, and there we are. Well, you can see my camera, that's weird. All the cracks and it's all up and down through there. And I thought, that's interesting. I've never cracked my screen before. First time for everything, I guess. So the phone still worked. Everything on it still worked. But it was really hard to see things. So immediately when I got home, I didn't drive home. I drove straight to the store and told them what happened. And so we ended up ordering a new phone, and a lot of the companies will try to, they start raising the rates on the plans anyway to try to force you to get a new plan. And actually my plan ended up being cheaper and I have a better phone. Now, I like to hold on to my phones a long time. I have an iPhone, and you know they come out with new ones all the time, and I really like to hold on to my phone. And so I had a 6 Plus, kept it for a long time. Now I have a 12. I like the 12, but you know, I was kind of forced into this situation, but my bill's actually a little cheaper now, and I get a teacher discount, so that's nice. It's nice to be rewarded that way. But it does have a better camera, so we'll see if the videos look any better. I also forgot that I had like a plug-and-play microphone. It's just a little stand, and it's sitting over here. It's, see, well, I can't pull it because it's actually connected to the phone right now. The cord is connected to the phone, but it's a very simple microphone. And I've got it pretty close to me here. And I tested it out, and it does seem to make a difference in the sound. So hopefully the quality of the videos will be a little bit better. So we'll see how that goes. All right, onwards and upwards. So the first thing I'm gonna do is shout out to a YouTube channel. That's what I usually like to do at first. And this one is Fat Quarter Shop. Now, I know that a lot of you watch Fat Quarter Shop, and they started out, it was a business that was out of Kimberly Jolly's home. She's the one who owns the business, she and her husband. And if you don't know some of her background, she decided to do, she was working with quilting stuff on the side. And so she actually started running her business out of her home. And then, of course, as it expanded, then she ended up, you know, of course, the business got bigger and she became more established. And then she started, and she cross-stitched too, but her main thing to sell was the quilting stuff. And she would do quilting tutorials and that kind of thing. And so now she's at the point, she's been doing this probably almost 20 years, maybe more, about 20 years or so. And so she has her quilting side, which she's still, I think that's still the main focus for her. But then she also does the cross stitch. So I discovered her Flosstube channel. So she has a quilting channel, and then she has cross stitch channel. I have no idea how this lady has the time to do all of this. I mean, she's constantly going, and she's got 4 kids, and they're all involved in sports and things. And I know she'll take her projects to work on while she's watching their games and stuff, but it's a lot. But I admire her for doing that, and she's got her employees, and they have, they really, when they give you projects, they really put a lot of time and effort into making them quality. You know, their charts are on really good, sturdy cardstock-like material, and they're very clearly printed. And so I'm just really pleased with the service that they give. And they've got all these monthly clubs that you can join. I'm part of the Stitch Quarterly Club, so you'll see a couple of my projects from here. And the fall one is now, should be getting to me anytime now. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I'll show you when I get that. But I just wanted to shout out that channel because they, and boy, they churn out the videos too. And they really put a lot of effort into making their business a quality business, and they don't have a brick and mortar store. It's all online, but they can put all their focus there, and they have really good customer service. So if you have not, if you maybe heard of Fat Quarter Shop and thought, well, it's quilting, which is what I thought, but I was actually Googling some cross stitch stuff, and the Fat Quarter Shop came up, and I'm like, what? So I checked it out, and it was well worth it. So if you have not checked out their Flosstube, or if you haven't checked out their website, I will put a link in the description below, and you can click on that and go check them out. Okay, so I'm going to get to my whips, and I have a couple of starts, and I'm really excited about those. One's a full coverage, so just wait. I bought this book. This is the Encyclopedia of Classic and Vintage Stitches. And I was so excited. I wanted to find a book that had a lot of different stitches in it and gave you good diagrams. And I'll just show you, let's see. They show you different types of embroidery, and they'll show you, I'll just show you, like, here's a picture of like a finished product, and here, you know, they have some stitches there. And I wanted to learn some different stitches. So I'm gonna go through this book and try to learn how to do some different stitches and maybe even make my own sampler. So this is the Encyclopedia of Classic and Vintage Stitches, 245 illustrated embroidery stitches for cross stitch, crewel, beadwork, needle lace, stump work, and more. So if you want to learn how to do hardanger or the cross stitch or a lot of different things, this is a wonderful book, and it's from Lifestyle Books. So I got it on Amazon, so I will go back there and find it, and I will put the link below so you can take a look at this book in a little more detail yourself. All right, so let's start with the one of my starts. I'm so excited. So, sorry. I am very excited. This, I decided to try this program called Threadbare.com, and I'm still kind of seeing how they're going to work out. And so far, and I think I showed this maybe last time, but their charts are very clear, very nice. I'm very pleased with it. I decided to take a photo of Buster Keaton, who is my favorite actor. He's a silent film actor. He did this film called Go West, and it has a cow in it, and I love cows. And so I took a still shot from Go West, and I decided that I'm going to do a full coverage piece on this. So here is, I was trying to find a better picture, and I think this might be, oh, here it is. This is a better picture. So here it is. I think I showed it last time. I'm going to show you again. So there it is. That's Buster, and that's Brown Eyes. And so I started this, and I'm starting up where it says page 5, up in this top corner. So the entire page is just this one block. Okay, so that's all we're going to see is a little bit of the boards there. But that should be enough to let me know if this is going to be a good program to use. My eyes started having a fit when I was trying to do some 36 count. No, not having it. The 18 count that my Michael Jackson piece was on was starting to give me some issues, and I thought, not good. So I thought, well, I guess I'm going to have to do either 14 or 16 count on Ada and 28 or 32 count on even weave and linen, which is okay. I'm cool with that. That's fine. So I decided I was going to try this full coverage on 14 count Ada, and I use Ada for my full coverage because it's a cheaper fabric, and you're not going to see the fabric anyway when it's done. So here's what I've got so far, and I will show you my little needle minder too. So, I mean, look, you can see this, it's going to be big. It's the size is going to be like a, where is it? Almost a 23 by 17. Big, bigger than Michael Jackson was. So here's where I am so far. Okay. And what I have decided to do is I'm doing it a little differently. You can, if you go in straight rows across, you go down, you can start to get ridges where your stitches stop, especially if you have pretty tight stitches like I do. Starts forming little ridges that you can see. So I will work on one color, and I'll go past, like I start in this small block, and then I will go to these, like you've got the 10 count blocks on your pattern. So then I'll start stair stepping, and I will go in a diagonal. And then I also, if I see there's more of the color in some blocks that are outside that diagonal of blocks, I'll go ahead and stitch those. And that way I don't start getting like a stair step line as well. And right now that seems to be working, and my eyes are very happy. My stitches seem to be a lot smoother, and I'm enjoying this a lot more. I mean, I liked doing the Michael Jackson piece, but I was getting to the point where I wasn't enjoying it as much. And so I'm enjoying this a lot better. But the needle minder, this is unwieldy. Let me fold it. So the needle minder, see the little cow? So I'm not one of those who has to have a matching needle minder for every project that I do. I don't go that way. A lot of people like it, and it's fun. But my husband had taken a pin, this little cow, and he ground the back off of it, took the pin part off, put a magnet on the back, and then put another one like this magnet to stick to it. And he made me this cow needle minder. Can you believe that? I was like, I have the best husband in the world. So he's very thoughtful that way. And so now I have my own little homemade cow needle minder to go with my wonderful project. And I'm going to show you just a little bit of this pattern. I've lost it there. I'll show you just a little bit, just so you can see how clear that is. And honestly, I don't know what the copyright is on this, because it's licensed to me now technically, because I ran it through that program. So, you know, I don't know, but it's very clear. It's very easy to read, and I am thoroughly enjoying this. This has 31 colors in it. And so what I'm watching for is, when I finish stitching the page, is it going to look pixelated? Because if you are stitching a picture, and I have seen this so many times, where people will work so hard and they put so much effort into stitching a picture, but it looks very chunky and pixelated because they didn't have enough colors in it. And so that's a little bit of my concern right now. So I'm going to stitch one whole page and see what it looks like. And granted, there's not Buster's face in there where I could really tell, but I'm going to do that and see how it goes, because if it's going to look pixelated and I can't get the program to work the way I need it to work, then it's not going to be any good, and I need to find a different program. So I'll keep you updated on that. Okay, my next one, and I can't remember now if I showed you this completed one. I'm doing the Barn Sweet Barn Sal, which is through Fat Quarter Shop. And this is the Flea Market Baskets by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. Okay, so this is the entire pattern. What we're stitching is this star in here. And we're stitching it every month. And I got February done. I had January done, and I tried to fully finish it, and I'm not happy at all with it. So we're going to redo that, and then I will show it to you, because it's bad. But this is February, and I got that done, so I'm very happy with that. It's a fun stitch. It's a very easy stitch. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't gotten super far with it, but that's okay. I told myself I'm not going to try to rush, and I'm not going to, get down on myself, because it's already September and I just finished month number 2. But I'm just going to take pictures of on the site where they tell you what colors that you need to use, and then I'm just going to go from there. Okay, then this is my next whip, and this one, I'm going to see if I have a before picture to show you. I try to show you before pictures, so I'm going to stick it up, probably try to stick it in here, and make it a little bit larger, and then it'll go off the screen. I'm learning how to do that pretty well. But this is Stitch-o-Graphy. They did this for World Cross Stitch Day 2021. This is a Fat Quarter Shop exclusive. And let's see, I think that's the best picture we've got. Okay, so if I have a before picture, I'll put it up here. And this, actually, let me do this first. This is what it's going to look like. That's the full pattern. And this one I like because this uses Cosmo floss. This is what Jean Farish likes to use. And I had never used Cosmo floss before, so I thought, I'm going to get that just so I can try some Cosmo floss. And I do want to do a tutorial just on finding using different flosses. But the Cosmo, some of the colors are a little bit brighter. I'll show you the colors that we're using for this one. Cosmo is very soft. Okay, it's a very soft floss. It is just as color fast as DMC. Now, as far as stitching it, I honestly don't see much difference. Me personally, I don't see a whole lot of difference between Cosmo and DMC. I think Cosmo has some nicer colors. I do have someone in my stitching group who said that Cosmo has some metallics, and those are a whole lot easier to use. I need to try those. So I'm going to look that up and see if I can find them. But now I'm going to try to show the before shot. Boy, this is polished, isn't it? And here's where I am now. So that's as far as I've gotten. And this one is stitched on, this is 14 count Aida. And it's 14 count white Aida. And I think it's just for my stash. I don't think I got it from Fat Quarter Shop, although they do offer a lot of Aida, because I know that Kimberly, she does stitch on other things now, but she stitches a lot on Aida. So, sorry, I am moving stuff around, and my mother watches these too, even though she doesn't cross stitch, she watches these, and she said that she kept trying to see what I was doing on the table. You can't see my table. And I think it was frustrating. You know, like you watch something, you're like, I can't see it. But I tried to move the camera back, and you can see the table, but it wasn't going to work well for me. And the main point, of course, is showing you my things. And so I think my mother will understand, and hopefully it won't really frustrate her that much. Okay. Let's see. So, sorry, Mom. This is one of my Stitch Quarterly from Fat Quarter Shop, and it's So Emma. And I guess Fat Quarter Shop's just going to be the star of the show today, right? So this is called Citrus Summer. I thought this was really cute. I'm having a lot of fun stitching this one. So that, and I'll show you where I was before. And this is stitched on, what is it called? Fabric Flare. I lost it. So this is 14 count Fabric Flare, and the pattern is Curved Tile. And so this is where I am currently. Let's see if I can bring it up there. Okay. And you can very clearly see the pattern here. Some of the patterns, once you start stitching on them, it seems like they disappear. But this one, you can see really clearly, and I think it looks really cool. So that's where I am currently on that one. And this Fabric Flare is a little bit softer than regular Aida. You can see on the back, it's just white. Okay, just white. And then it's screen printed on the front. So if you have never tried Fabric Flare, then I would highly recommend that you try that, because it's a lot of fun. And this is just on DMC. Most of the floss that I've used is DMC, but I think I'm going to do some tutorial, like spotlight videos when I'm trying some different types of floss, which should be a lot of fun. All right, I added to my rotation some holiday ornaments, because I really want to put a small holiday tree in my craft room, and I want things from the different holidays. So I'm going to start with Christmas, because you can find Christmas ornaments anywhere. This is a start, and if I can get it out, this is a kit that I got. I've had this for a while too, and I don't remember where I got it. I get a lot of my stuff from 123stitch.com, because I don't have an LNS that's really anywhere close. We used to have one in Louisville that I'd been to a couple of times. Louisville is about 45 minutes to an hour drive from me, which isn't horrible because a lot of people have to drive a lot farther than that to get to an LNS. For those of you who are new to stitching, we throw around a lot of alphabet soup stuff. So LNS stands for Local Needle Workshop. So I don't have one, and a lot of us don't have one. So I do online stuff, but this is from Janlynn, and this is a set of little they're Christmas cupcake ornaments. And I just thought they were really cute. So I like those. And the one I started working on is this, I think it's this one that I've started to work on right there. And so I haven't gotten very far because it is a start, but this is what I have so far. These are being stitched on 14 count Aida. So it came with the kit. And so what I did was I just cut it up into 6 squares. This is our square, so you can tell the ornament's not going to be huge. And it does come with some cotton felt, it's more like felt backing that you can put on here. And so I'm hoping I can get some Christmas ornaments out of this. And so one of my rotations is going to be ornaments. Okay, then I have not stitched on stamped. I haven't done stamped cross stitch in a long time, but I've had some in my stash, and I did do some before, but with my self-diagnosed OCD, I get hung up on trying to make sure I get the blue covered on the crosses. If you're not familiar with stamped cross stitch, you have regular material, fabric, and they stamp these blue X's all on the pattern, and then you have your paper pattern that tells you what colors the X's are supposed to be, and then you stitch over the X's. Typically, you either use all 6 strands of floss, you don't separate them, or you may use 3 or 4. And on this particular one, I'm using 3. So I thought, let's do some of my stamped stitch. I've got some quilt blocks that I haven't even started yet, but this is a table runner, and it's a small table runner, but I thought it would look cute on my table. And this is from Dempsey Needle Art. And it's just, you can see the pattern. It doesn't have a specific name, it's just a table runner scarf. But it's not a complicated pattern. But it's very pretty. I think it's very dainty. And so instead of the blue, I swapped it out. And this is one of the reasons that I've tried to have like the entire set of DMC colors, because when you want to switch out things, it's really easy to switch out colors, and it's just not a big deal because you already have it. So this had 2 colors of blue. It calls for $7.98 and $38.40. And these are the blues that they use. So I swapped it out for $30 and $2.10. And so these are the 2 colors that I'm actually going to use. And I like that a little bit better. So I have started by doing the border. And this is really nice material too. It didn't cost me that much, so I was really surprised at how nice it was. But so I'm working the border. I've got almost one whole side done. Okay, and then you can see the blue X's there, and now you can see the pattern. And so you just have to stitch over those X's. And this is 3 strands of floss that I'm using. My stitches aren't what I would call awesome. Many of them are a little uneven because the stamped X's are not the clearest in the world, and some of the ends are a little faded out, so you can start having issues. But I just decided that actually makes the table runner look a little more homey to me. Would I put an item like this in the fair? Nope, not my stuff. Not going in the fair, nope. But it's for me, it's for my home use, and I'm enjoying it actually quite a bit. It's very relaxing, so that's pretty cool. All right, let me slide that over here. And let's see, this is my other, I've got 2 stitch quarterlies that I'm working on. This is my other one, which is called Tea Time. This is also, it's So Emma. It's a fat stitch quarterly, fat quarter shop stitch quarterly club thing. Whew. Okay, so there's the pattern. I think it's really cute. And so I will show you here, hopefully, where I got to last time. And then made some progress on here. So this is where I am now. We're starting to see the teacup take shape. So I'm very happy with it. This is on, what's it stitched on? I think it's 28 count, something Lugana. I think it's mushroom. 28 count mushroom Lugana. Yep. And I found, actually, let me hold it up one more time, let you see it. So I like Lugana, but I have found, I think, that I'm thinking I'm a Jobalon girl. I had one friend online say, yeah, I like the Jobalon too. Jobalon seems to be a little bit thicker, kind of a heavier, slightly heavier material. But Lugana is more of a thin, dainty-ish kind of material. The only way you're going to know which one you actually prefer is to stitch on both. I would buy, if you want to try it, I would buy a small size of each one of Lugana, one of Jobalon, and give it a try. Stitch on both and see what you think about them. That's the only way you're going to know. And that's how I found out. Okay, so this one now is Time to Stitch a Serenity-ish Prayer. I have changed out pretty much all the colors, having a lot of fun with it. DMC has the Etoile collection that has the little silver thread running through it. And this is from My Big Toe Designs. And it says, God grant me the ability to stitch the stash I have, to have the stash I want, and the time to stitch it all. Hallelujah, right? So here it is. The colors that I chose for it are very similar, except like with the green leaves, I've switched those out for the DMC's Etoile. And then DMC, I'm using DMC for all of these. So the colors are very similar. But on this model, they use Gentle Arts. So the Gentle Art sampler thread, that's what they use on this. So here's what I did before. Hopefully I'll be able to find these pictures. And then here is what I have now. And I'll tell you what I stitched it on. So here's where I am. And so I'm using, for the lettering, I'm using, I'll tell you the number. It's one of the DMC variegated threads. And it's just got a very gentle variegation. It's not really strong, which is what I wanted. I wanted something gentle. And then I don't know that it shows up in these leaves, but that's where I'm using the Etoile. This fabric, people have been going nuts about this fabric, which I don't blame them. And it's a model fabric. Look at that. That's awesome. This is a 28 count raspberry Jobalon. It's a thicker material than the Lugana. And this one, I know, I usually get my fabric from 123stitch.com, and I can link them in the description below. 123 Stitch has reasonable prices, and they've got a huge selection of stuff, and they're much more reasonable than other places. So that's why I usually use them. So for my colors, I can pull that out. This is 4022 is the variegated thread that I'm using. That's the blue, that's the lettering. And then I'm using 718. And I have not put these on floss drops yet. 517. And then the green, that's the HWA, is C471. And I don't know if you can see, you should be able to see a little bit of the sparkle there. So those are the 4 colors that I'm actually using on this one. And it is awesome. All right, I'm trying to put these up as I go so I don't have like a huge mess when I get done with it. So anyway, there we go. Okay, and the last whip that I have is Pray More, Worry Less by Pine Mountain Designs, and the artist is Sandra Workman. And this is, it's like a little slip cover for a pillow. So this is the actual design. And it's a pillow sleeve, but the pillow forms that you have to order separately are expensive. Even on Amazon, they're expensive. So one of my good friends told me that I should just sew one end of it and stuff it with polyfill and just turn the sleeve itself into a pillow. I said, that's a good idea. So I think I will do that. Now, let me show you where I was. So let me dodge my pictures. And here is where I currently am. So that's where we are. This, the Ada here is a 16 count. And so you just stitch on, and this whole thing is, here, I'm on low battery, so I guess I'll have to wrap this up here pretty soon. Even though my camera is lasting longer, and I thought I had my battery hooked in, but I guess I don't. But anyway, I need to wrap this up. Anyway, we've been going for a little while. All right, so let me show you, this is the major thing. My Michael Jackson piece. I didn't get the blue ribbon. I did get second in the state fair in the full coverage category. I would have loved to have gotten the blue ribbon. Hopefully next time I'll get a blue ribbon. The lady who did get the blue ribbon is actually someone who's in my cross stitch group, in the E-Town group. So I'm happy about that. But let me show you my FFO. Here he is, frame and all. Yay. So let me back up. There we go. There he is in all his full glory. And, well, let me turn it around. And there's my ribbon. All right, so the ribbon will stay with him, and I'm going to put him on the wall soon. So there he is. I got this framed at Woodland Gallery, which is in Elizabethtown. She does an excellent job with helping you to figure out what frame to use, and I give her what my ideas currently are, and then she helps me work with that and work with pricing and that kind of thing. So there he is. He's finally done, fully finished. Okay, so hopefully, well, I'm going to put him in the county fair next year, and we'll see how he does there. Okay, so I have my stash star, which is called the Nancy Collins Sampler. I got this when I was at the Silver Needle, which is an LNS in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's pretty popular, and it's a very nice needle workshop. And the design is by Brenda Keys. But this is a sampler by a girl who's Nancy Collins. It was done in 1809, so this is a reproduction of the sampler. This is from the Sampler Company. And there it is. So at some point I will stitch this. And I noticed a lot of these girls with the samplers did a lot of like, you know, a lot of strawberries, or a little, like their border is very decorative like that. So I noticed that, but that is the Nancy Collins sampler. And you can order, they have their online shop too, so you don't have to go to the Silver Needle. So if you really like that, and I'll link the Silver Needle down below as well, and you can go to their online shop, and I'm sure they are still selling that sampler if you really like that pattern. All right, last but not least is my Crazy Craft tip. And so my Crazy Craft tip is, if you like using a hoop or a QSnap, either one of those. Now, frame is a different story because you roll the frame as you're using it. I don't use a frame, so I can't really speak to that. But if you use a hoop or a QSnap, it is, now obviously you don't have to do this. Remember, there's best practice in stitching, but not hard and fast rules. Best practice is to remove the hoop or QSnap when you are finished stitching on it for that stitching session. The reason for that is if you don't remove the hoop or QSnap and you just leave it on there and then you only move it when you're ready to move to a different spot on your project, you may get some creases because the hoop will leave a crease, and the QSnap, it presses against your stitches. It's really nice. I like them, but they do press against your stitches, and they could do some damage, or they could do some, I don't know, some, you know, like with the ring from the hoop, it may turn out to be really hard to iron out. And your fabric needs to take a rest. And I know that sounds weird, but when you keep it stretched taut, it's really not good for the fabric to stay stretched taut. Now, I will tell you, I do know some people, and I know some people who are online who their entire project, they make sure they've got a hoop or a QSnap that is large enough for their entire project to fit into. They never move the hoop or QSnap. If that's the case, then you're going to be framing or doing something with that outer edge anyway, and that's not going to matter as much. So if your entire project fits inside the hoop, that I wouldn't worry about that as much. But if you're like me, 7 inches, a 7-inch hoop is about as big as I want to go. And the Q-snaps I want to go even smaller than that, which means I have to move them around more, and I'm fine with that. But I always make sure that I take them off when I'm finished with my stitching session. Yes, sometimes it's a pain in the rear end, but it will be worth it in the long run. So that's just my little 2 cents worth and my piece of advice for you as we're moving through this stitching journey together. All right, that is all I've got now. I hope that you enjoyed looking at the updates on the projects, and I hope that you are blessed, that you are wonderfully creative, and I will see you later. Bye, everybody.